Hello and welcome to the Satluj TV podcast. Today's returning guest is Dr. Gurinder Singh Grewal, MD, who's not only a distinguished cardiology specialist in California with over 48 years of experience, but he's also a passionate advocate for Sikh and Khalistan causes. He's co-founder of SikhHeritageEducation.com that documents and archives material relevant to Sikh rights and history. And he was also the co-founder of World Sikh News, a hard-copy newspaper that ran for 12 years before the digital revolution took over. Deeply impacted by the events of 1984, Dr. Grewal has since then been a powerful advocate, ensuring the world never forgets those events. Dr. Grewal, welcome. Thank you for joining us once again today.
Good morning to you, Angus. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Now, Dr. Grewal, the word betrayal has become ingrained into the Sikh mind after decades and indeed centuries of betrayal against the community from many different sources, not least the British, but most of all India itself. Now, you've summarised 12 of what I would call great betrayals over the last 100 years or so, and I'd like to cover those in today's discussion, if I may. So let's start almost 100 years ago. It's 1929 and we're in Lahore. Could you tell us more about this first of many betrayals to come?
So, the freedom movement in India started seriously some time in 1920s, and everybody was concerned about what is going to happen to them, the Sikhs, the Hindus and Muslims. So Sikhs had more inclination towards the Hindus because of previous experience with the Muslim rulers, not necessarily with the Muslim population. So 1929, at the Lahore session, the Congress gave Sikhs assurance that no solution in the future constitution will be acceptable to the Congress that doesn't give Sikhs full satisfaction. Again, emphasizing the same, in 1931, Muhatma Gandhi went to Gurdwara Sisganj at Delhi, which is a very important place in Sikh history, where 9th Guru was martyred. He spoke that Sikh friends have no reason to fear that the Congress party will betray them. For the moment it does so, the Congress would not only thereby seal its own doom, but that of the country too. Moreover, the Sikhs are great people. They know how to safeguard their rights by the exercise of arms if should ever come to that. So this was documented in Young India, which was a Congress or Gandhi's publication.
That's two very clear statements made about Sikhs, saying that how could they be betrayed? They will receive satisfaction and their rights will be respected, and that's even come from the words of Mahatma Gandhi himself. So let's fast forward then. It's just the end of the Second World War. It's 1946, and that well-known nationalist Nehru also, I believe, made a statement about Sikhs while speaking at the Congress. Can you tell us about that one?
Yeah, in the 1946 at the Congress committee meeting, he declared, "The brave Sikhs of Punjab are entitled to special consideration. I see nothing wrong in an area set up in the north wherein the Sikhs can also experience the glow of freedom." Similarly, Congress committee passed another resolution confirming the same thing. So if we go to the British Parliament Transfer of Power Act 1947, according to that document, the central government is supposed to be loose federation, and they only have three subjects to control: communication, defense, and foreign affairs. But with the passage of time, that is not true. They have completely taken over the whole country.
And then, because a lot happened, obviously, after the Second World War around this time. This, of course, partition in 1947. So the British and all the various factions of India were having a lot of discussions. And it is very clear from all these statements that you have repeated that all the key actors in this scenario, Nehru, Gandhi and many others, have made very unambiguous, clear statements that the rights of the Sikhs would be respected, and not just the rights, but they would be granted some form of autonomy and indeed geographical location, a geographical homeland. There were clear indications and assumptions made by the Sikhs that they would be given some form of homeland. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. But as soon as the partition took place and Nehru, Patel, they are remembered as a nationalist, socialist, not as much as BJP like Hindutva people, but still somehow they did not trust the Sikhs and they did not keep their word. After 1947, when people were migrating from one side to the other, they're leaving almost with nothing. So they go to the empty houses where left by Muslims on this side, grab whatever they can, which could be just a very small thing, a little cot to sleep on and all that. When that was happened, and this was observed by the government, they declared the Sikhs are basically criminals. In 1947, Mr. Trivedi, CM Trivedi, Governor of Punjab, issued certain instruction to the Deputy Commissioners of Punjab, stating that Sikhs in general and Sikh migrants in particular must be treated as a criminal tribe. Harsh treatment must be meted out to them to the extent of shooting them, so that they wake up in the political realities and recognize who are the masters and who are the slaves. One of the deputy commissioner was Sikh gentleman, I remember, as Kapoor Singh, who then he resigned and became very active in politics. There's a book by A.N. Bali. The book's name is Nehru Unlimited. On page 69, he documents that Muhatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru were very anti-Sikh. There was not a day when some statements from them will not come against the Punjabis or Sikhs, calling them looters or Reuters. Mr. Nehru tried to snatch a rifle from a soldier to shoot at a Punjabi who was picking up something from empty Muslim house, and he said these criminals are never going to stop. Lucky for him, the soldier did not let him have the gun, otherwise he would have been guilty of manslaughter. This shows the mentality of the people who were running the government, how they mistrusted the Sikhs and how they did not care about all the promises they made.
It's very obvious to somebody like myself as an observer to these events that clearly the people like Gandhi and Nehru and all these other characters, there was a very clear undercurrent of, I was going to say dislike, but I would almost say hatred of Sikhs in those days that obviously even runs through today. What do you think? I'm going slightly off topic here, but I'm very curious, and I always like to ask this question. Why do you think there was this deep suspicion, this deep almost hatred of Sikhs from people like Gandhi and Nehru? What were they scared of?
I think they were scared of the Sikhs have aspirations, that they had a Sikh Raj, they may demand again. And basically Gandhi particularly was afraid. He was a big believer in caste system, that if these low caste people became Sikhs, they are armed, it's going to be very hard to control them. He was the biggest bigot. And Nehru, being a socialist, he just wanted to rule with whatever he can. They mistrusted the Sikhs. And the only people who can join in the government, if they left Sikh politics, that's Akali politics, they become members of Congress. So to demand for greater autonomy and a Punjabi-speaking state, which all the Indian states have been reorganized based on the language, Punjab was denied that. In 1953, they had some agreement with the government but nothing was done. In 1955, there was Punjabi Suba agitation where 12,000 Sikhs were in jail for 64 days. My father also went into jail in the same movement. But nothing was done. But that struggle continued. The masters in Delhi became very afraid of Master Tara Singh, that he was becoming militant. So they removed him. They replaced him with another Akali leader called Sant Fateh Singh, who was so-called religious man, but he was not very literate. So they used him whatever way they can. In 1966, Punjabi Suba Reorganization Act took place, where Punjab was divided into 3 states. Punjab, where Punjabi speaking, and Haryana, Hindi speaking. A mountain region was called Himachal, although it was a part of Punjab, and never they asked for a separate state, but they wanted to weaken the Punjab. The capital of Punjab, which was a new capital after Lahore, made after partition, Chandigarh, is a beautiful city, was to be given to Punjab, and Haryana was supposed to be given money for their new capital. 58 years later, Punjab still doesn't have its own capital. The state doesn't even have its own capital. How can they progress? How can they do business? So this is the state of the affairs even today. So after Nehru, there was a short period of a couple of other prime ministers. Then comes Indira Gandhi. Indira Gandhi basically was a autocrat. She was you can call it a dictator, who just wanted to rule with the iron hand. In 1973, Akalis started another agitation asking for greater autonomy for the states, not only Punjab, for all the states. So during her emergency rule, they continued this agitation, where rest of the country she quieted, but she could not silence the voice of Punjab. And she remembered that. So as soon as that was over, they made a plan. And 1984, Operation Blue Star took place, where thousands, who knows, maybe hundreds of thousands, Sikh women, children, innocent people were killed. Attack on Golden Temple with armed vehicle, tanks took place. 35 or 37 other gurdwaras were attacked. Thousands of people died again. So as a result of her action, she was assassinated by her own bodyguards. Following that, her son became prime minister. He comes, the first thing he says to his followers, in salon ko sabk sikha do. That means teach these people a lesson. So there was genocide of Sikhs in Delhi. Most of them were very poor people. Some of the Sikh soldiers who were in uniform, even they were burned alive. People were burned alive with putting tires in their necks and burning them. So it was a horrible, horrible period of Sikh history, which you have discussed many times, many other speakers have spoken. So I think that tragedy we will never forget. So then let's move forward. They are replaced by this new government. This is the BJP. BJP is a political organization of RSS, which is an organization started in 1925 or so. So the main aim is Hindutva. That means converting all India into Hindu nation. So in 2012, BJP published their constitution and rules, September 2012. Article 4 talks about the commitments they make to the people of India. So these are the commitments they made. The party shall be committed to nationalism, national integration, democracy, Gandhian approach to social, economic issues leading to establishment of egalitarian society, free from exploitation, positive secularism, that is equal respect for all the religions, value-based politics, and party stands for decentralization of economic and political power. So this is a document. On the basis of that, they won election and they have ruled for 10 years, and this is now the third term. So this Article 4 commitments is complete deception. They have not honored any one of them, and they don't even have any intention of following any one of them. So let's examine Gandhian philosophy of non-violence. Every day there's a violence against minorities, including Dalits, Sikhs, Muslims in India. Look what happened in Manipur to the Christians. But nothing is being done. Not only that, the Prime Minister of India and his cronies, they're openly talking, "Guske marenge." That means they will intrude into your house and kill you. Recently, I think you had talked to one of my other friends. One of the CIA operatives have disclosed that they discovered $10 million payment by Indian government to Afghani group to kill the Kashmiris leaders in Pakistan and the Sikh leaders. So this is the non-violence of Gandhi they follow. A Sikh leader, president of a Gurdwara in Surrey, was assassinated. Another Sikh was murdered in London. This is a Soviet-style poisoning. No final results have been shown. Another Sikh leader in USA was to be assassinated. Fortunately, FBI was able to thwart that. So this is the non-violent phase of BJP government.
Okay, if I may, Dr. Grewal, just slightly backtrack and just summarise what's brought us to this point as we now look forward at the BJP's rule. And my original question was, what is it about the Sikhs that India fears so much? And it's very clear from what you've spoken about, is that they see the Sikh community as a huge threat, and it's all about control. We've talked about the caste system, and clearly the caste system has essentially controlled the Indian population, well, for thousands of years. And it is the upper caste, the Brahmins and the upper caste, that essentially control India. And so it is very clear to me then, from what you have said and the evidence as you've just portrayed, is that they have made lots of promises to the Sikhs over certainly the times around partition, essentially to bring them on side so they could get an independent India. But as soon as they realised their dream of independence, they turned on the Sikhs and they did everything they could to break up the Sikh community by dividing their land, by not giving them, as they did to every other religion, their own homeland, divided by culture and by language. And there has been a very clear agenda ever since 1947 that these people who are in control of India do not want a united, combined Sikh community because they form a threat, the only real, genuine threat to Indian control over the population of India. So, of course, we then fast forward to now the BJP, who we know are essentially a political arm of the RSS, and the RSS with their extreme nationalist Hindutva agenda, again, recognised the Sikh community as the main threat to their agenda, to their Hindutva agenda, to their four pillars of essentially Hindu control over India. So, again, it comes back to geography, and we look at the Punjab, and we look at Kashmir, J&K, we look at Haryana, Himachal Pradesh. They broke these areas up deliberately, and they have taken control of these areas as much as they can. They declared presidential rule of Kashmir. Can you talk about this whole idea of decentralisation? Because clearly this is a big part of the RSS and the BJP's policy, this idea of decentralisation. And can you talk us through what's been happening in Kashmir?
Decentralization is one of the commitments they make in their document. But the actions are the opposite. Look what happened in Kashmir. They divided J&K into 3 states, and they are directly under control of central government. And the Kashmir is basically occupied by army, and they are suppressed. It's a volcano any day ready to erupt. They're trying to do the same thing in Punjab. Look at the Punjab. The Punjab's water sources, electricity board is called Bhakra Bias Management Board, which control the water sources of Punjab. They have been dispute or effort to direct water of Satluj river into Jamuna to give it to Haryana. The 39% of the water Punjab uses, the rest they are taking to Rajasthan, Haryana, Delhi. And Punjab is having serious problem with the water issue. So they have not been able to finish that canal because of opposition from the Punjab. One time Punjab Assembly unanimously cancel all those agreements. Now this government has changed all that. The board members, there are 5 board members who make decisions. None of them is from Punjab. They all controlled by central government. Now there's effort to direct Satluj water to Jamuna, to Haryana, before Satluj river even enters Punjab. So the riparian rights of Punjab are never honored. Basically, they want to punish Punjabis and turn Punjab into a barren land. They don't care that Punjab provides grains to the rest of India. They just want to teach a lesson, just like Mr. Trivedi said in 1947. They want us to understand who's a ruler and who's a slave. Same mentality, even worse. They are, look at the other things in Punjab, decentralization. There are 5 major universities in Punjab. The governor of Punjab is the authority to approve the vice chancellors of those universities. 3 out of 5 are non-Punjabis. A Sikh physician who's a well-known cardiologist in Dayanand Hospital in Ludhiana was appointed to be vice chancellor of Baba Farid University of Health Sciences by the current chief minister. The governor would not approve. They brought vice chancellor from Delhi. So everything in Punjab is controlled by the central government. The governor of Punjab was from Madhya Pradesh. He was BJP leader in Madhya Pradesh. Now they have brought the Chief Justice of Punjab and Haryana High Court from the same state. 2 days ago, the governor was changed because he resigned, and the new governor is also a BJP leader from Rajasthan. So they have their own agenda being imposed on the Punjabis. It's a never-ending game. So
yeah, they clearly know.
And decentralization, one more thing. So let me just add one more thing in decentralization. According to Article 355, the BSF, which is a paramilitary force, controls the border. Their jurisdiction was 15 kilometers. This government has extended it to 50 kilometers. Punjab being a small state, many big cities come under that. So even though there's a Punjab as its own police, BSF is the one basically controlling that. It will be not a surprise that they take over the whole state any day. They're trying to find an excuse to suspend the government, call president's rule, or basically they want to make Punjab another Kashmir.
It's very clear to me through many news stories that we've covered and that we've looked at, is that there is this drive coming from the BJP and the RSS to dilute the culture of Punjab, dilute the Sikh community, and try to break it up and fracture it as much as possible. And even I've reported stories where the politics of the Punjab and indeed the politics of the Sikh community itself appears fractured, it appears fragmented or not aligned. And I think the reason behind this is very clearly, and I think you have touched on this, is that Delhi and the RSS are playing a very clever game where they are parachuting in their own people, their own puppets, basically, into these key positions in the Punjab, whether it's the chief minister, whether it's into even some of the religious roles within the community. And of course, that is now creating divisions, clearly designed divisions in the community, knowing full well that the result will be a broken community. So do you feel that that is the case? Do you think they are attacking the religion itself, even the very faith itself and its infrastructure?
Yes, they are. So let's examine the respect for other religions. That was only a slogan. I think it's clear from the speeches Mr. Modi gave during the election how they hated the Muslims and they tried to mobilize the Hindu vote, but it did not help. Even in Ayodhya, he was not able to win. His party could not win. In the case of the Sikhs, according to 1959 Gurdwara Board election rules, any Sikh of 21 years who lives in the constituency where he wants to vote could register as a voter. And you register as a voter with a revenue officer, which is the Patwari in villages or the deputy commissioner in the city. In 2016, Mr. Advani, who was a BJP leader, Modi kicked him out. With his help, they passed another amendment in the parliament which changed that the only people who could vote will be Amritaris. With that action, they divided the Sikh community into two. Basically, the voters for SGPC had dipped in numbers by 50% in 13 years. They keep extending the registration, but they can't find enough voters because they have divided the Sikhs so they can control. Not only that, in 1986, the BJP RSS started their own Sikh organization called Rashtriya Sikh Sangat. It's RSS affiliate. Their main aim is to bring Sikhs into Hindutva. They are trying to publish literature, books, articles, corrupting the Sikh scriptures. Their third president, I think was Rulda Singh, 2004, was assassinated. They have 495 branches, offices in Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan. They're basically funded by government or semi-government organization. Their main job is to cause disturbances, insult to the Sikhs, but their appearance is a Sikhs. They are the worst enemy of the Sikhs. Akal Takht in 2004 passed a resolution declaring them that they're anti-Sikh, anti-Panthik, but they are still there because they have the backing of government. One of their leader, Mr. Suri, in Amritsar, I heard him on the video saying that you should keep a gun, handgun, and kill a Sikh whenever you see him. And nothing was done to him. You know, if a Sikh boy has some book about Khalistan, which Supreme Court has ruled that peaceful discussion on Khalistan is legal, but they will put them in jail and nobody will ever know them where they are. They will even take them out of Punjab. But this guy was talking during the day that kill a Sikh, keep a gun. Finally, he was murdered by a young man. Mostly, I think his business was affected because every day they'll do something and his shop will be closed. Recently, another Hindu leader, RSS leader in Ludhiana, was attacked by three Nings because he was celebrating 1984 attack on Golden Temple by distributing sweets. Another incident, I don't know the detail, I just heard a news that some Nihings have attacked Hindu shopkeepers in Amritsar. You know, some of these Nihing organizations are Sikh organizations, but most of them, at least I would say some of them, have always worked for the government, not for the Sikh nation. During farmer strike, they also tried to cause disturbance. The Nihings killed another guy. They say he was attacking their religious books. This guy was a drug addict. They brought him from Amritsar by paying him. He didn't know what the heck they were going to do to him. So their aim is to cause so much disturbance in Punjab between Hindus and Sikhs that they can find reason to suspend the civilian government and take control. My appeal to my Hindu brothers, Sikh brothers in Punjab is, don't be pawn of this BJP RSS. Do not fight, because fight with each other is bad for the Punjab. Punjab belongs to everybody, Hindu, Sikh, Muslim, whosoever born there is going to live there. The best for Punjabis is to join hands together, fight this colonial rule, and have a freedom for Punjab. That's my appeal to people of Punjab, to respect each other, live peacefully like we have lived for centuries, and not let this RSS destroy the peace in Punjab.
Yeah, I think that's a very noble statement to end our discussion with. But unfortunately there we must leave it. But we will be talking again with Dr. Grewal soon to continue our discussion. Dr. Grewal, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Scott.
And thank you for watching the Satluj TV podcast. We will see you next time.